Greetings! I'm glad you made it through the software overview. So let's do some modeling. So today we're gonna create something for the blockout. As a concept artist, I need something like this to maybe paint over it, right? To put it in the desired angle view, take a screenshot, and then just do some layers in Photoshop or whatever you want. But still, even if you are not a concept artist, you need the blockout. So okay, let's start with this. So as you can see, there are references in this scene, and well, you might ask how to add them. Okay, let me show you. You just drag and drop, right? After that, you press, of course, R and just put them in place. Now, the thing I maybe forgot to tell you about, if you press something 2 times, you just do it in screen space. So if I press G, it shows me the gizmo. If I press G again, I just move in screen space, right? So I could move it like this, anywhere, but let's adjust the reference, kinda, right? Let's move another one. Oh my god, my bad. Let's just, reload it. Yep. Let's move it somewhere here. Okay, so now you might want to have your reference to be visible over the model, even if it is behind, like in almost all the other software. So for that, you select the reference, you press M for material, and here, because it's an image, it has some special material settings. So you just press front and you press on the opacity checkbox. I would advise you to just go with the default 50%. So press OK or just right click. Oh yeah. Now, to copy this material to another one, you can just drag and drop it, right? Nice. Now, let's adjust them accordingly. So, I'm gonna do it with the sides, right? Face select mode. With the sides and only with the grip, not with the mag, right? So, just like this. By the way, maybe I also forgot this. I'm sorry then. You can go into orthographic view by holding Alt and then doing a gesture with a middle mouse button click, right? Okay, so let's move this one. So let's move it until the sides touch it, and now we scale it and we set the pivot to be right here, and then we press S again to scale it uniformly until, as we remember, it's only the grip, not the mag, right? So somewhere around this should be fine. Well, as you can maybe see, it's not only the color that is different, those are different versions of the pistol, but really, for what I'm doing right here, it doesn't really matter. It's concept art, so yeah, don't care. Now the thing is, right now, again, maybe it will be changed in the future. Maybe as you see it, you don't have that problem. It's a rapidly developing software, but whenever I have something like this, even though I have the X-ray turned off, you can still see all the underlying lines on top of the image. So when I'm doing something like this, I usually like to put them as far away as possible. Well, not as possible, right? But if you isolate it and unisolate it, it's gonna select the whole scene. So I don't really want it to be, like this. So yeah, let's to the gun now. I would want to start with a blockout, just put this in place, maybe select the whole body, duplicate, rotate. Just get the overall shape, right? Something like this. Okay. And because we remember that they are the same width, we will just, move it somewhere there. Double Q to do the unifying boolean and just offset both sides. Or you can, scale on the y-axis. Doesn't really matter. And now let's try to... Actually, it was already perfect. But yeah. So, here is our block out. Now, let's quickly, what do we miss? We miss the grips. So, Control R, extrude, B for new body, amazing. Now, let's just quickly delete this edge. We don't need it. Okay, so, what do we do next? I am not sure. Let's just do this, shape. For that, we just press Control R, Control R. We offset it downwards, and then we just rotate this face. Maybe move it. Right? Yep. Same for the bottom one. R, V for the pivot, and then just move it. Okay, now we need it to go deeper, or maybe not exactly now, right? Okay, let's do this shape, but let's do it in a bad way. So I could tell you how to fix mistakes that can can happen later on, right? So let's do this part. I would press C, cut it. It might not cut in the right direction, so if it doesn't, you can just set this as your construction plane, right? So can I shift space to set it for sure? And then if you cut something, it will be for sure in this work plane. So yeah, now just delete this thing, and then let's fill it this. Okay. Now the problem, we want to fill it to go a bit more than that. So it's gonna look, if we're gonna fill it like this, right? When we move it further, we don't like that. So I would advise you to move this thing right away. And here, it's not really very nice to extrude this little piece. It would be probably much more useful to just, do it fully and then cut it out. Something like this, right? So, and fillet it. Again, because of the same reasons, it's always nice to leave at least something behind so you can, do something with it afterwards. But yeah, okay, now we might adjust this face a bit, right? Oh, GG to move in screen space. As RR to rotate in screen space, distance for the fillet distance. Okay, that looks nice for a block out, right? What else? Okay. Let's just start with this shape of the grip, right? So, oh, my bad. Forgot the fillet here. Again, something left here to manage after, right? So if we delete this fillet, we don't have to redo the face. Okay, so a couple of things how to do the other part, right? You could technically, let's say, cut it with this face, delete, start the fillet, and then match it, right? And Control R, match it oh no, my bad. Okay, match it like this maybe. Move it away way, set it to fixed. I think it should work. No, doesn't. Okay, now we have some weird stuff in the geometry. Just like select everything here. Select every face here and just delete it. You know, works amazingly. Those are matched, and now we just, we can either like do it like this, or maybe if we have a weird shape, not exactly the fillet, maybe we have a G2 fillet, right? I'm not like sure if you can match it. No, you cannot. So you can just do something and press match fade. Why doesn't it work? I am not sure, Maybe it was a bit smaller than needed. Yeah, it works, but it creates some weird geometry. We don't really need that. Again, use G2 fillets only when necessary. But there is another way, which is much easier than all this thing, is to just extrude this. Maybe we could match it with this right away, right? So we have one more thing to do. Then we just select this thing, deselect it like this, Shift D, so we have an edge that we can use as a cutter. Now if we press C and this thing, okay, it cuts in the right direction right away, so don't have to do anything. Right click to confirm, and just delete the rest that we don't need. Now the thing is, we don't actually like have to select everything in here, right? Like not this, but like this to cut this part, because when you cut with a face, it automatically extends it. Like it will not like extend this face with those sides, but it will extend it with those sides. So just select C, cut. Yep, amazing. Let's just do it as it is on our reference, right? Oh, also let's cut it right away. So go into ortho view, draw a line, C, cut, yep, delete the line. Now let's make it go a bit deeper. Oh no, let's make the rib slightly different right now, right? Okay, looks good enough. Or maybe we should move this thing a bit up. Right. Okay, that's good. Okay, so isolate, offset. Oh no, I accidentally pressed. Yeah, extruding it. My bad. Okay, that looks good enough. Okay, press T to keep the tools. Isolate this. Just delete this whole thing, and move this thing. Okay. I remember when doing a previous take, it wasn't exactly like this. It was something closer to this, and it was lagging when you moved it past somewhere here. So if you have something like this, what you could do is you could either press extrude if you have any problems when moving things like this, and just extrude it like this, right? This works. Or you can, sometimes it helps, especially it's very good when you cannot extrude, is you move it slightly right before an error happens and it doesn't do it. You confirm it, right? And then you do it again and it works. Yay, so almost done, isn't it? Okay, now let's mirror it. Oh, maybe let's adjust the faces a bit. The grip might be going a bit too deep, so just select everything and move it. Okay, this looks alright. Okay, so now let's mirror it. Now, look, if we mirror it and we try to weld everything together, right, doing a union boolean, it will not mirror it, because at this point in time, if there is at least one object it cannot weld after the mirror, it will not do the mirror, right? So I wouldn't do it. I would just like cut it and then manually stitch it together, pressing QQ. Yeah, actually it didn't work on this one, so but I would in the end want to do something closer to this. because in my references I was mostly looking at stuff like this, like a competitive pistol grip. So I want it to be slightly wider in here, right? And so it's like on the guns, like you see on the reference, right? It's mostly symmetrical, so you could both hold it left and right hand. Here it's not. So this thing is only for your thumb, and this thing is like maybe for your trigger finger, right? Or index finger, however you want to call it. So yeah, maybe something like this will work in the end. But yeah, here it's not really done. Now, the last thing is this cut, right? Just like on the reference. How do we do it? So the easiest, in my opinion, way to do it is to go to here and cut it like this, right? But it's now, how do we do it like on the reference? We can like experiment with it right now, right? But if we like maybe do it right way, but we go back, it's different, right? Okay, it's actually not, but let me show you the better way to do it, right? So you select the face, you press R, you set the pivot, and now look, you can use the gizmo to rotate it, right? Like this, but you don't really have enough precision. So what I would do is, blue, you can easily check on the gizmo, blue is Z, you press Z, and then you rotate it. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, exactly on our reference. Shift X, Alt X, select the side you want to copy to the other one, and press Q to weld it. Yeah, well, we have some problems with proportions. I could fix it, right? But anyway, we're gonna start the next chapter with something I have already made. So, oh, one more thing to cut it like this. Oh, okay. Now we can cut it with the face. It's always easier to cut with the faces. Yeah. See you in the next one. Bye.